Well, here we are again, one season later. I made a video, it's been a while back. I made a video about trials and how they suck and how they will be changing. But this, oh my god, this fucking trial. This is probably my favorite trial that they've done. I love Cold Snap. I love how Embark made the new event or the new map condition they call it, you know. I love how they are playing with the game. And they are, you know, they did the same thing with finals, so I'm not surprised. But I think it's so cool. And with the Cold Snap, right, you have the snowing and that's the condition, and the trials are playing into that. So there was a trial, I think, when the Cold Snap started with opening the frozen shut Raiders caches, which I thought was so cool that they did that. But this week's trial is throwing fucking snowballs at Rocketeers, and I'm just looking at it. I'm sure everybody is like looking at it like with like this fading smile, because at the one hand you're like, well, obviously we are supposed to just, you know, be silly a little bit, in like it's the holidays season, and it's like, you know, just Embark says like, hey, you know, calm down, it's a video game and have fun with it, which I am totally into and I take it that way. But then you look then you look at this bullshit with the trials and I don't even know. I will show you this, alright? Look at this and just like, what the fuck am I supposed to even say about this, man? Like, it's if you have a player, or should I say a group of players, in your rank that do this, you are fucked. You are fucked in a way that was not defined in a dictionary yet. You cannot play the video game. I mean, the thing is, the reason I'm making this video is specifically that I think this is such a cool and nice little example of why you should give up on trials. And I don't mean that in like a toxic way, like, oh, the game is dying. Not at all, the opposite. You should give up on grinding the game. I think Embark kind of sees what's happening. They see how people are grinding endlessly trials, and I think they did this trial specifically to show people you should not take it as seriously. And I think people will get upset about this for one thing, which is obviously that you get the seasonal rewards for trials, which people will miss out on a lot. And for a bit I was like, well, this sucks because I want the rewards, right? But then like the more I thought about it, was like, if I was to say find a group of people, which wouldn't be hard, to get the trials this way and get these insane high numbers and stuff like that, then I would get, you know, the medal or whatever it's called, the you know, the attachment, I don't know what it's called, charm, which I got from the first season, by the way, but that's the extent, right? Because I didn't get higher than that. But you can get the skins, right? Like, everybody wants the skin. That's the video game is about this. Like, you want the skins. That's the one of the few things that are permanent are the cosmetics. You want the skin. And I'm like, I don't have the skin from the first trials because it was impossible. Even with like a person that doesn't have to do anything else but play the game, I don't want to grind. I have other things to do besides like editing videos. I have other things I want to do, so I don't want to grind this. I like to enjoy this game. I like this game a whole lot, and I don't want this to turn into another World of Warcraft. Like, every streamer, every YouTuber who does this, fuck right off, please. Please, I beg you, just go back to whatever you played before. Like, this is not the type of game. I don't like this. I don't want to vent. That's like, I wanna stay away from this. I don't want to vent here. I'm just saying, I think the snowballing, the fucking throwing snowballs at the Rocketeer was such a pure example of don't give a fuck about this. It's not worth it. You can get 3 stars. By the way, like, for some reason, even like I gave it a couple of tries, and like I thought maybe like landing 5 or 6 snowballs would be enough. During Cold Snap you get like double points too. So like, if I throw like 5, 6 snowballs, it will be enough for 3 stars. No, it wasn't. And it's not easy because the Rocketeer actually does target you. I was thinking for a while, maybe if I'm throwing a snowball, it's not gonna even notice me. And that's the challenge. Like, kind of like walking around the map trying to hit the Rocketeer while it's just not giving a fuck about you. But no, it does hit it for like 1 damage probably, so like it does actually engage you. So like as a solo, it's not easy, you have to find spots on the map, whatever. It's not as silly as it sounds. It actually, like, the robot is gonna actually be upset about it. The point is, they could have just said hit any arc with snowballs, right, and that would be the end of it. But they specifically picked Rocketeer because Rocketeer is the biggest asshole in the game. And it's like, I really think that this was added into the game just to like make us understand that this game is not about that grind that people like to put into. And it's honestly so cool, because when you think about it, there's 2 types of players that play Arc Raiders at the moment. One type of people are the people who like extraction shooters as a theory, but never really played it too much and played other games instead. And then finally there was some middle ground between, ultra realistic milsim extraction shooter and your average just like fun gameplay of a video game open world looter shooter, which is Arc Raiders. That's like right in the middle of this is Arc Raiders, right? But then there is like the people who came from extraction shooters are used to grinding endlessly every little thing, especially people who came from like Tarkov. I think these people are like used to being like blood, sweat and tears until everything's 100%. And it's like you see this collide in Trials perfectly, because I think Embark really wants us to always primarily have fun with this and not just like sweat actual blood over this game. But like there is gonna be a group of people who do this in every game, I get that. I'm just saying, I think this trial was such a perfect example, and we as a community showed Embark that we are not quite getting the point yet with this, because yeah, when I've seen what was the 170,000, 140,000 points, I don't know if people get the math behind this. This is insane amount of points. It doesn't really even matter like if it's on night map, snow map or regular map. The amount of times you have to hit this thing with the snowball is absolutely crazy. I know there is, I've seen it. I've seen YouTube immediately recommend me videos about how to flip over a Rocketeer. I know how people do it. I know people don't do it legitimately, even though you could argue, I would argue that like glitching out the Rocketeer so it falls over and it doesn't fight back, I think is the purest example of the gameplay in this game. Like people will find a way around the challenge to make it easier on them, and the fact it's possible to do with the tools in the game, I think is pretty intended for us to find a way around it. You aren't supposed to just like hide in a corner and hit it with a snowball and wait back in the corner until it goes away. That's not doable, right? You have to be creative, which this is what that is, that's creative. And yeah, I mean, my point is just like, yeah, this was fun to see, because at first when the trials came out this Monday, people were like just laughing about it, right? Like obviously, like this is just fun. This is just so funny to put in a trial, and I really hope that they put more funny trials like this, because up until now, we legitimately had a lot of grinding trials, like, you know, hit wasp, kill fireball, open, you know, raider caches or whatever, stuff like that, which we still have. But like these kinds of trials are super fun, and I really enjoyed that about the game, that Embark actually like understands the direction the game should have. And I feel like, unlike Embark, the players of Arc Raiders do not get what the game is. Right now it's very fresh game, and I don't blame anybody for like going in different separate directions of their own. What people usually do when they start a new video game is to start comparing it to games that they played before, right? So like the players that played Tarkov will probably compare it a lot to like Fortnite, right? Because it's such a different contrast from Tarkov. And these kinds of players just are used to just brute force the game until they break everything about it. Which is not to say, you know, that I'm not talking about like bugs or something. This is just like conversation about just finding a way to absolutely abuse something until it looks like this. Like, again, I don't blame anybody for anything. I'm not trying to cast blames and ban people, whatever. This is just me trying to express that I think this trial was basically a test for this community to see if like we can take a joke basically, and we turned it into like broken advantage, you could say, right? Like, just throw snowballs at the Rocketeer. It's stupid because the Rocketeer is gonna notice you and shoot at you, and a lot of people will die in the process. That's Embark. That's their signature move, especially in this game. Just put yourself in a stupidly dangerous situation and survive it. That's the trial. I think that's awesome in the game. But yeah, like, the community found a way to like just bully the biggest enemy in the game, which like I think is great that this is a thing in the game. But we should probably like take a step back after this and understand that maybe the reason this trial exists is probably that yeah, like, trials are just about giving you 3 stars, giving you some loot, maybe blueprint if you were nice this year. If you do it every week, which like is not that impossible to do for anybody, if you do 3 stars trials every week, you will, you know, maybe you will get one rank higher, maybe not, but who cares? That's the attitude I think you should have about this game always. Even if you are a streamer who does nothing else but talk to chat 18 hours a day, you should always just have trials as like an accidental success, not something that you grind out like in other games. Like, you know, this is not a competitive game. It should never be a competitive game. We should be just, you know, holding hands together and walking into the sunset. Alright, well, yeah, if you listen this far into the video, it's your own fault.